What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the 3.0 Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Megatron. So this is the third in this series that I've looked at. I've looked at the Optimus Prime, the Nemesis Prime, and now Megatron. So this is designed to be a almost exact replica of the animation model from the Netflix cartoon. Let's take a quick look. You do have a nice Decepticon logo there. There is a wash kind of all throughout. You can see kind of like a dirty wash to it. It's got this sculpted, war battled or battle damaged look. You got some here on the legs, on the knee, a little bit here on the gun. We'll talk about the gun a little bit more a bit later. You do have the backpack here. This is designed to look like his tank treads. Of course, this you can remove, and it's a little tough to get on and off there because it's on rails. But there are the rails. You can see those fit into his back right there. But if you prefer the nice clean back look, you can have it like this. And that looks really nice. All this detail is still there, nice and clean. So you can display it without that if you prefer. I think I actually do prefer, but since it's not accurate to the character from the Netflix cartoon, we'll put this back on. And this does kind of articulate up and down a little bit. Speaking of articulation, before we get the accessories installed, and this is just kind of pegged on here. I'll talk about it a little bit more at the end, but you can move this to different spots. So let's go over his articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so you get up to there, down to there, side to side, and it does rotate all the way around. The neck joint does not move on this one. On the Optimus, it definitely moved. Oh, it does move. I'm sorry. The neck joint does move, so you can get a little bit more down and a little bit more up. Not a lot, to be honest. The Optimus seems to move a little bit more. Oh, I don't want to show that light up feature just yet. Moving on, you have the arms rotate all the way around on this joint. The shoulders move on this block here, so the entire block can go up and down. And you do have a butterfly joint here on that inner joint. So there's a lot of joints there on that shoulder. You can also separately rotate the arm on this joint here. So if you want to get the arm way up, you can get it rotated up. Everything's nice and tight, really nice tolerances. Your rotation at the bicep is really tight. I don't know why it's so tight. Double jointed elbow gets you almost a full bend. You have a nice cover down piece here. Everything is painted and sculpted and detailed on this guy. There's nothing left untouched anywhere. You do have this panel, and it is cartoon accurate. I just feel like they should have made it removable. That's the second time this has fallen off, so that is an issue. I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. But this panel really should have been removable for people that don't want it. It is definitely accurate, but I don't love it. But anyway, the wrist is on a ball joint, so you get in and out, rotates all day around, and up and down as well. Your rotation at, here, actually let's move this out of the way. Your rotation at the waist rotates all the way around. There's an ab crunch, upper ab crunch here that goes down to there. You do have a lower ab crunch, but it does collide with this. So they actually say in the instructions to remove this piece. So while I have it removed, I'm going to show it to you. This is a light up feature. So it does light up. I do have the batteries in there. You basically take out these two screws right here. All right, once you get those screws out, go ahead and pull this cover off. You'll see there's a panel in here. Pull that panel out, and then you can see there's the two batteries in there. So you do need two batteries for this piece, and then go ahead and just put them back in. And now you're ready for this light up panel piece here. But with that out, you can get this ab crunch to bend a little bit more. So you can see that bottom one is bending. And they recommend removing that panel, which is really interesting. I didn't think you'd have to do that, but I guess you do if you want to get him fully articulated at the abs. All right, let's put this back on. This does just fit in here, and then you give it a little squeeze, and it goes in there. And this button is right here to turn it on and off. All right, continuing downwards, you have a movement here on this. That's just to open up some space, allow you to move the abs and the hip skirts. So the hip skirts are on ball joints. I'm going to leave that off for now. These are on ball joints, and the ball joints are on a arm. So they go up and down, in and out. You can't get these sort of out of the way. And it's recommended that you do that in the instruction book before you articulate the legs. So the legs go up to there. It is a swing down joint, but you can't move the thigh independently. It moves automatically on that swing joint. So you can get that up to there. It's very, very tight, but he has a really high kick. Back to here, it is kind of hindered. I don't think it goes any further. I'm not going to push it. And then out to the side. These are all on friction joints, but they're nice and tight. All the tolerances are really well done. Rotation at the thigh, it's really tight. It does break the sculpt, but that is accurate to the character, sadly. You have a double jointed knee. It's got all of this detail and auto articulation there. You can see this knee panel goes down, and then this kind of shows up, and this is what you see on the side. All metal, die cast, everything's heavy, nice quality. It really feels solid. Everything on it. Nothing feels it's going to break. Except for maybe these hip skirts, everything feels super sturdy. Oh, I guess these pull outwards and rotate down, so you have some extra movement there as well. Oh, I forgot to mention it does have the side-to-side teapot movement there. Continuing down, you have the drop-down heels, and they go out to there, out this way, and I guess this panel opens up a little bit, and that's to allow some of this ankle tilt. Let's see, does it go that way? No, I think that's all it goes. You do have forward and back. And just to show you the light up feature, I've turned off some lights here. You can hit the button here, you can push in on the face, on the nose, and it lights up like that. That looks really nice. 3.0 does a good job with their light up features. You get the blue, classic, and the yellow there, and then the red eyes. All of that looks good. Right, now let's go over the accessories. So you do get, of course, the Fusion Cannon here. This can actually be used as a gun. So he comes with this handle here. I've already put it in the hand, so let me take this out. And basically you're going to take this peg off, and you can just set that aside, and then put this one in. That's going to plug into the bottom, same spot. And now you can put that in this trigger hand here, and that's just going to fit in. It is a pliable hand. And go ahead and take these hands and pull that off. And now he can use his cannon as a gun. There you go. And he can hold it. I don't know. This isn't my favorite use of this gun, but you can do this if you want to. He can use his Fusion Cannon as a gun. Now, speaking of the hands, so you do get the fisted hand by default. They're all painted, sculpted, nice looking, and they have a wash on them. You get the open fist hand here for holding things. You get the trigger finger, which I have on there already, which looks like this. Here's the other side. You get an open expressive hand here, and I think that's it for hands. On this side here, you can use his sword, laser sword, whatever you want to call it. I mean, this thing is kind of wacky. So again, you can put this holding hand here, and go ahead and take off this wrist. Get this one on. And there he is holding the sword. It is actually a good looking sword. Now this thing is kind of interesting because you can display it a couple different ways. So if you want, you can flip this open like that, and you can peg that into the side of the arm, or you can have it like this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can also take this, and we're going to take this off because he never displayed like that. But you can take these two, go ahead and unpeg the handle here. So this is the hand holding peg there. So you can take the sword here and this alternate handle. You can see it's keyed, so go ahead and get that in. And that'll allow you to combine it with this Fusion Cannon. So you can see this is also keyed. Right, so go ahead and get that in the right way. And now you have this gigantic gun, and you can either put it like this, and you can hold it like a massive super gun, or if you want, you can put this adapter in, get that into his arm, and just have this mega weapon. It's a little too big. Honestly, I mean, the toy did the same thing. I don't love this, but it is something you can do. This gun alone is also kind of cool looking. I just trying to see. Oh, I guess you can. So you can take this off if you want, and use this gun on its own. It's not a bad looking gun. It's got some detail. And one final accessory is the display stand. It is exactly the same, identical. These are good stands. I've found them to be well made and sturdy and able to be posed pretty well. Now, this articulates here, and then you have some articulation up and down on this. There we go. And then if you come to the back here, actually let's lift up his backpack. And you need to remove this panel right here. There we go. So go ahead and take that off. You can see that left a little hole there. And now you can get him on the stand and you can get some dynamic poses going or whatever with that. So final thoughts on the 3.0 DLX Megatron. Let's start with the positives. I think the paint, sculpt, and detail on this is really outstanding. I mean, they all have been that way. They all do a really good job, but this is no different. It's got some really nice detail. The light up features, of course, add to the display factor. It really does look like a professional piece and a high quality, high end collectible. I do like the accessories. I don't mind the backpack as much as I thought I would. I thought it'd be kind of ugly. Now the Optimus one I really kind of hate, but this one, it's fine because it completes the tank look. Right, you got the treads here, so that's fine to me. I do like the fusion cannon, the kind of the adjustability you have to display that different ways. Same for the sword. I think that was nice. And then of course the hands, the alternate hands. The stand is okay. I do find this one to be a little bit looser than the others just because of the weight of this guy. He's really, really heavy, so he tends to be a little bit wobbly, but overall, high quality piece, feels good. Negatives wise, it looks like Siege Megatron, which if you don't like the look of this character, this is not going to change your mind. He still looks kind of silly, very blocky. The face sculpt, which I'm not even sure if I got in on the face sculpt, so let's do that now. The face sculpt, while accurate, like super duper accurate, is really dumb. It just looks very strange, not very Megatron-ish. And just not my favorite, but that has nothing to do with the company or the quality. This is an excellent piece. It is dead on to the Netflix cartoon, so you can't really complain about that. I do recommend this if you are collecting the DLX figures from the Siege line. This is going to go perfectly with that DLX Optimus Prime. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.